A pleasant morning to each and everyone. And so we are the group 8 and the topic that assigned in our group is critical literacy. So we are done with a lot of literacy. So now we are down with the chapter 8, which is the critical literacy. So before we proceed on the meaning of the critical literacy or the definitions of critical literacy, let me ask you first. So here's the objective first of our lessons in the group 8. First is to characterize critical literacy. Second one is to discuss the brief background of a critical literacy theory. So when you hear the words critical literacy, what comes in your mind? Okay, so for me, when I heard critical literacy, the words that come in my mind is critical. It involves with the critical thinking. So to know and let us know what is the deep meaning of the critical literacy. So in this lesson, uh, there are a lot of theories and philosophers who define critical literacy. So let us understand and know each of it. So the first one here is the concept of critical literacy is theoretically diverse and combines ideas from various critical theories such as critical linguistic, feminist theory, critical voice theory, as well as a reader response theory and cultural and media studies. This is according to Luke et al. In the year of 2019. So according to him, critical literacy is a combination or a different or from the different theoretically and combines ideas. So he mentioned or specific some theories here. First is the critical linguistics. So when you say critical linguistic, is somehow tells about is an approach of the study of the language which stress the close connections between the linguistic and the social structure. So it is somehow about the linguistic and social structure. The next one is the feminist theory, meaning so ito naman yung it's about understanding the process or the it aims to understand the inequality of a gender. So it tells that a man what man can do can also do by a woman. So the next one is the critical voice theory or the language defensive progress. It tells about the language defensive. And then the last one is reader response theory. So once you are critically literate, you will be able to respond to the text. And also the cultural and media studies. So it emphasizes the studies of media in relation with the historical, economic, or political context. And then that's for the first one. And then another definition by the University of Melbourne in the year of 2018. So in this, according to them, critical literacy is a central thinking skills that involves the questions and examination of ideas and requires one to synthesize, analyze, interpret, evaluate, and respond to the text, read, or listen to. So in most of the definitions, this is the very clear definitions, no? So, if you're going to search on the Google, what is critical literacy, ito talaga yung madalas na lumalabas. So, I think this is one of general definitions of a critical literacy. So, according to this, it is a central thinking skill. So, we already have an idea that critical literacy is somehow tells about the critical thinking. So, when you say critical thinking, it's emphasized or it is the form of examining the fact and of course to form a judgment to a text. So in examining the fact of the text, the first thing that you would do is to have a curiosity on that text. So when you have curiosity on that text, a questions maybe kumbaga may mabubuong mga questions or katanungan sa sarili mo kung ano nga ba ang mayroon sa text na yun if you would like to examine the text. And then, once you have already a questions in your mind, then you would examine the text or the ideas for you to answer those questions in your mind. So in examining the ideas, it requires synthesize, analyze, interpret, evaluate, and respond to the text. Synthesize means that you are going to differentiate, for example, the more important informations to a less important informations, and also the arrangements of the text and main point of the text of each paragraph. So you would going to synthesize it. And then pag na-synthesize or na kumbaga medyo na-arrange mo na yung text, then you're going to analyze it. So and analyzing means you are going to understand each of the text, understand the meaning of each of the text. For example, those difficult terms is maaaring hanapin mo sa dictionary yung mga meanings, and the main point of each paragraph is i-understand mo or i-analyze mo. So once you analyze it, you are already have the skills to interpret it pag analyze mo na. So in interpreting means that you understand the text, so you can interpret it. You have a skills to interpret it. And then pag nalaman mo na yung meaning ng text na yun, then you are able to evaluate it, or to, like what I've said earlier, na to form a judgment on that text. So once you will be able to judge the text, kaya mo na siyang i-evaluate, and then you can respond to the text that is you read or you listen to. So you can now respond to all the questions that comes in your mind in the first place of your curiosity. So that is the critical literacy according to the University of Melbourne. It's about the thinkings, forming a questions, and of course answer the questions in your mind by being critical literate. And then the next definition is from the Elizabeth Bishop 2014. According to her, critical literacy uses ducks and brain skills in a ways that enable students to examine the politics of daily life within contemporary society, with a view understanding what it means to locate and actively seek out contradictions within modes of life, theories, and substantive intellectual position. So, critical literacy, according to her, is readers are encouraged to give a questions and explore the challenge or the power between the relationship of the authors to the readers. So here it emphasizes emphasize or encourage the readers to read, and to it emphasized the importance of text and print skills. So it promotes reading skills. That is according to Bishop. So nakafocus siya sa reading skills. She means that critical literacy is more focused on reading skills. And then the next one is critical literacy seek to examine the historical and contemporaneous privileging and inclusion of groups of people and ideas from mainstream narrative. This is according to Langsher and McLaren 1993. It is kind of literacy about structure and structural violence and power systems. So, dito naman is, compared to the first one na nabanggit natin na nakafocus sa text, dito is rather than promoting reading skills or promoting reading skills, ito naman is nakafocus to, according to them, critical literacy is to examine the historical or the past life and the present life. So it is focused on how the personal life of the people. So it means that critical literacy daw is nagagamit para ma-examine yung mga historical at present life. So it also structural violence, meaning structural violence means that there are some society that harm people by not giving them their basic needs. So the next one is, since the 1990s, critical literacy theorists have outlined emancipatory theories of learning, so that address the complex relations of language and power through social critique, advocacy, and cultural transformation. So dito naman is critical literacy since 1990s daw is mayroon ng kumbaga theory that outline or that outline emancipatory theories or it sit free of learning that address the complex relations of language and power through social critics. So, kumbaga, nagbibigay toon sa solusyon or nagbibigay solutions para ma-examine yung mga social issues or the advocacy or the advocacy of the people and also the cultural transformations or yan yung realign again the cultural of the people through changing the vision, the mission, and the goal of their culture. And then so the next one is educational researchers discuss critical literacy as a theory of social practice as the negotiations of and the creations meaning of social justice. So here naman is according to an educational research daw, critical literacy is a social practice. So critical literacy daw is a social practice or ito yung everyday practice ng mga tao. And also, it says that everyone is deserve an equal treatment. So, this is according to the educational researchers. As a creation of meaning of a social justice. So, para daw magkaroon ng pantay-pantay ng pag-treatment sa mga tao. So that's the end of the different definitions. So before to end this discussion, let me ask you a question. So are you a critical literate person? If yes, so are you sure that you are critical literate? Because sometimes critical literate is kumbaga uusisain mo talaga yung text. Hindi yung, for example, binigyan tayo ng text, then 2 to 3 page, and then ginawa mo lang is first and second paragraph lang yung binasa mo, or then the last one, and then means hindi mo as in na critic yung text na yun. Kumbaga ginawa mong shortcut. So, kalaban din talaga ng critical literacy is ang pagiging matamad sa pagbabasa. So, if we are a critical literate, dapat hindi tayo tamarin magbasa at basahin talaga yung buong text. So, you will be able to critical literate if kaya mo nang bigyan ng ma-interpret ang isang text and kaya mo nang masagot or respond to the questions of that comes in your mind, and also understand the main point of the authors of the text. So I think that would be all for my part, and to understand more critical literacy would be reported by the other members of my group. So again, I am Rundato Nashida, a reporter, and giving a short introductions about the critical literacy. So I think that would be all for my part. Thank you so much for listening.